Yo, what's up, everybody? This is LB here, back at y'all with another one. Shout out to the whole Lions Den basketball community. Ticket, Mahoney Sports Podcast, Too Raw for TV, James Hayes, Black Reality TV, KQKC Boxing Network. You know what I'm saying? We a movement. You know, you either get with the program or you get left behind. Give the video a like, hit the subscribe, ring the bell whenever I drop a live stream or an upload. And I want to give a special shout out to all my subscribers. There's another shout out I wanted to give to Solidtron. I appreciate you for subscribing to the channel. I hope you enjoyed the content. And let's get right into this, man. So this is another exciting episode of the Nick Wright Minstrel Show. And in this particular episode, we're going to break down what he said yesterday between LeBron James and Kevin Durant. Also, we're going to talk about what he said about Mark Jackson, which I think was just very distasteful. Salute to my boy TJ in the building. Right? Now, the first part of that segment was the question that if the Lakers were a lock to win the NBA Finals. So this is what he said, right? It is no surprise to anyone of all the players who knew or how to find a way to deal with the unprecedented layoff and to stay in shape and to stay ready, LeBron will be near or at the top of that list. So I got a question for you, Nick, right? You don't think nobody else was practicing? You don't think nobody else was training to get ready for the upcoming season? I'm pretty sure everybody in the NBA got a schedule as to when these games was going to play, right? So nobody else worked out, right? Nobody else got themselves in shape. LeBron was the only person to get himself in shape, right? That's what you want the whole public to believe, right? Oh, he's locked in. This guy, I mean, we've never seen a guy like this before. You got to get on board. He's the best player ever. He's even greater than Kobe Bryant. He's just as great, if not greater than Michael Jordan. Look, this is what guys like Nick Wright tried to do. They tried to frame this narrative that LeBron James was the only person that was out there grinding hard, getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, looking at film, getting in the weight room, eating right. You act like LeBron James was like the only person that was out there doing that. Come on, Nick Wright. That's irresponsible of you. The only thing that's a lock is that you need to get that toupee off the top of your fucking head. Because whatever that is on the top of your head has corrupted your brain at some point or another. Shit. Then they go on to say, if LeBron plays like LeBron, are they a lock to win the championship? That's what he said. Now, this is how he attempts to frame this. So that way it paints the illusion that LeBron, about LeBron James or whatever like that. Let's forget about, when he went to the finals in 2007 and got swept by the Spurs. Let's forget about the 2008-2009 season when they won 60-plus games and they were favorites to win the NBA championship, only to get bounced by the Orlando Magic, only to get bounced by the Boston Celtics, right? Let's forget about those years, right? In the year that the they got bounced by the Boston Celtics, he leaves the team. He leaves to go to Miami in the decision, right? That hour-long shit show at the boys' club where he took his talents to South Beach, right? This guy's a minstrel show. He is a fucking minstrel show. Oh yeah, the 2010 season as well, when he was with Cleveland, his final season in Cleveland. When he leaves Cleveland, and then you got people burning their jerseys. You got Daniel Gilbert writing that manifesto, denigrating LeBron. They took down LeBron's little wallpaper they had up in the city of Cleveland, right? But he shits on Kevin Durant. We're gonna get to that in a minute. So let's forget about the 2011 NBA Finals where he came up so small, right? When he was like the third leading scorer on the team. He's supposed to be the best player in the world, right? But he's the third leading scorer on the team behind D Wade and Chris Bosh, right? Dirk Nowitzki basically putting that team on his back, and the Dallas Mavericks win the NBA Finals. Let's forget about that, right? So Nick Wright goes on this, from 2012 to about 2018, with the exception of 1 year, as long as LeBron had an all-star caliber player, they would win the championship. That's the rule. So he goes on 2012, talk about how D Wade played to his capability, and they won the NBA Finals. And guess who won Finals MVP? LeBron. 2013, another situation he brought up with D Wade, right? Don't mention Chris Bosh or nothing like that, right? Because Chris Bosh, he was only a perennial all-star that left Toronto and made his way down to South Beach to join LeBron and D Wade. But you notice how Nick Wright leaves out Chris Bosh, but that's another story for another day, right? So talks about how D Wade, averages all these points in the finals. They repeat, right? But it's just funny that he leaves out conveniently that a Ray Allen 3-pointer, and the Heat don't win that series. The Spurs will be the NBA champions. So you see how Nick Wright conveniently leaves that out, right? Then in 2014, he makes the excuse about D Wade's body failing him, and that's why LeBron lost. Then in 2015, he also makes the excuse about Kyrie and Kevin Love being out, and then he conveniently throws in there how LeBron James dropped 36, 9, and 9, and they lose, right? Now, mind you, in that series, in Game 4, they were at home. They were winning in the fourth quarter with like 2 minutes left in that game, and the babyface assassin, pretty much brought the team back from obscurity and into prosperity, right? They also leave out in Game 5 with Stephen Curry scored 17 points in the fourth quarter that allowed Golden State to take the series lead in Golden State, right? But, you see how Nick Wright conveniently leaves that out, right? This guy's supposed to be this walking encyclopedia of basketball knowledge, and he conveniently leaves shit out. Also, you can drive up his narrative about propping up LeBron James. This shit disgusting, man. 2016, talk about how Kyrie scored 27 points, right? Allowing the Cleveland Cavaliers to win the championship, and LeBron James returned to Cleveland, coming back from 3-1. But what Nick Wright conveniently leaves out is the fact that Kyrie Irving, with a minute left, hit the shot that puts Cleveland up by 3. It was a tie game. It was a tie game, 89 apiece, right? It was 89 apiece. Kyrie hits that 3-pointer in Stephen Curry's grill, puts them up 92-89. But we're gonna leave that out, right? We're gonna leave that part out and talk about the chase down block by LeBron, and LeBron hitting the free throw that put them up 2 possessions and shit. But we're not gonna talk about the 3-pointer that Kyrie Irving hit. We're not gonna talk about that, right? That 3-point shot that put Cleveland up by 3 in Game 7. And something make a case that Kyrie Irving should have been Finals MVP. Shit, Kyrie Irving is more of a killer than LeBron James. But you leave it up to guys like Nick Wright. Nick Wright will, try to finagle and finesse and massage the story to drive up the narrative for LeBron James. We're gonna leave up all the other details that that will poke holes in his theory. No. When he comes on this, when he comes in here with his revisionist history Monday through Friday, well, guess what? Your boy, like this guy, me, this guy is going to come back in this motherfucker and debunk all his bullshit. Whether it be me, whether it be Ticket, whether it be Too Raw, whether it be Abel Mahari, one of us four will come in here and debunk his bullshit. Then he goes on to say, in 2017, right? That's the year, I think that was KD's first year to go to state. He look, well, they had all these stars on the team, and so that was the one exception to the rule. And Kevin Love was hurt that year, and this thing, and I was like, man, this motherfucker, man, I'm telling you, making all these excuses for his king, all these excuses. Anybody else, he will hold them to account. But as far as LeBron James go, he's this so-called exception to the rule. So why LeBron can't have no fans? Hell, why LeBron can't have no critics? When you look, you motherfuckers out there gotta learn that you gotta take the good with the bad. Just like being in a relationship. You gotta take the good with the bad. You can't just have these rosy pictures without looking at the dark side. It don't work like that. Then in 2018, the year they got swept, he makes this, LeBron scored 34 a game, and, Kevin Love was hurt, and J.R. Smith only scored 9, and, you get the end result. But he conveniently leaves out the 2019 season when he joined the Lakers, and the Lakers were 27 and 26, and when LeBron James came back from his groin injury, he was going to be in playoff mode, right? And the Lakers don't make the playoffs. But you see how Nick Wright conveniently leaves that out. See, when they come in this motherfucker and they tell lies like that, it's up to me, Ticket, Too Raw, Abel Mahari, James Hayes, anybody in the damn basketball community come in here and tell the fucking truth. Now, I know my boy Ticket, you know what I'm saying? My brother, you know what I'm saying? The guy that took me under his wing and showed me some things. He grilled Nick Wright about this shit yesterday. Now, I was, out and about. I heard this video or whatever like that, you know what I'm saying? But I could not wait to talk about this shit. I wanted to get my fucking 2 cents on this shit. Nick Wright is disgusting. Nick Wright is a useless fucking hack. Nick Wright has no business on fucking TV. Period. Now, let's go to the second part of that segment when they talked about Mark Jackson. No, hold on. Back up. We're not going to go there yet. There's other some things I want to talk about. Now, Antoine Walker, we all know how I feel about Antoine Walker, a guy who underachieved his NBA career, and a guy who looks like now that, when he puts on a one-button suit, and that one-button suit just might, actually go pew and hit you in the fucking eye. Shout out to Wouldn't You Like to Know and DJ7 for Life. Appreciate y'all for being in the chat room today. All right. Now, Antoine Walker, and the fact that, he blew $100 million. But, hey, I'm not one to cast aspersions on individuals or whatever like that, considering I got skeletons in my closet too. But anyway, Antoine Walker, he goes on to say that, he thinks the Lakers are his favorites or whatever like that, but they're no lock, right? And he goes on to say there's no Avery Bradley, there's no Rondo. He questions J.R. Smith and Dion Waiters, and that, LeBron got to show killer mentality against the Clippers, right? In which, I'll give him credit, what he says pretty factual. So, I'll give him that, because I had the same questions too. Who is going to stop Damian Lillard on Portland? Right? Who's going to stop CJ McCollum? Who's going to stop Russell Westbrook? Who's going to stop James Harden? And then you got to think in the Portland matchup, Portland can match up with the Lakers bigs. Nurkic is look, don't sleep on Yusuf Nurkic, okay? Nurkic can play. Hassan Whiteside, when he's not mentally checked out, he can play too. He can rebound, he can defend, he can block shots when he wants to. That's the key to Hassan Whiteside, when he wants to. He just can't be mentally checking out. And then they bring back Zach Collins back from injury. Zach Collins can play. Look, don't fucking sleep on Portland, man. I'm telling y'all, Portland can come in there and ruin all this shit. But then again, you know, with their head coach, Terry Stotts, you know, he'll find a way to fuck this up. And if anybody, you follow my channel, you know, for the last year and a half, almost going on 2 years now, you know how much I don't like Terry Stotts as a head coach. That dude can't coach a chicken out of an egg. Anyway. And then, you know, when Charles Barkley made his proclamation about if the Trailblazers making the playoffs, and, you know, who said this first? Me, this guy. I told everybody on the video I did last week that if Portland made the playoffs, the Lakers was in major trouble. I said this. And I know y'all motherfuckers be watching my videos too. I may not have the view count all these other motherfuckers, but that don't mean my knowledge ain't that much lower than they are. Matter of fact, I can make an argument that my knowledge is on par with these motherfuckers. Who told y'all that the Portland Trailblazers is going to give the Lakers problems if they make the playoffs? Me, this guy. And of course, Nick Wright goes on his little, you know, diatribe about that. Talk about he's going to go 5 games. Yeah. 5 games for the Blazers. Watch what I tell you. And just when I grilling his king, guess who shows up from the sewers like the rat he is? Myron Jones. Shout out to Myron Jones in the chat room, man. Now I know people gonna disagree, but watch what I tell you, right? So Damian Lillard could go to LA and drop 60 on Kobe Bryant night, right? But the Portland Trailblazers not going to beat the Lakers. They have who's going to stop Portland on, who's going to stop Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum? You can put Alex Caruso on him. What about Quinn Cook? Danny Green? Danny Green ain't got, he don't have he can't keep up with those two motherfuckers. What about Kentavious Caldwell-Pope? The infamous Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Right? Bums. You know who sweeps up these bums? LeBron. Remember him and AD, they had free reign who they wanted on the roster. And then they had the nerve, the unmitigated gall, the audacity to say they'll put their lineup against anybody. Really, dude? Really? You really want to go out there with that? Put your money where your mouth is. This could be a fucking manslaughter. Man, they put Alex Caruso on Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard is going to cook that boy. So the Lakers are in major trouble if they get Portland in the first round. Watch what I tell you. They better hope and pray they don't get Portland in the first round. They get Portland in the first round, they're in major trouble. Major trouble. All right, let's move on, right? Let's move on. So the second part of that segment had to do with Mark Jackson, right? About Mark Jackson possibly being coach of the Brooklyn Nets. Now, we all know that Kenny Atkinson was fired prior to the pandemic shutting down the season for a little bit. We also know that Jacques Vaughn, you know, who was a Kansas Jayhawk great, not so great in the NBA and even less as a coach when he was coaching the Orlando Magic. So right now, the interim coach for the Brooklyn Nets is Jacques Vaughn. So ESPN Brian Windhorst, aka Grimace, the same guy who I always say robs the Hamburglar, you know, he broke the story that KD wanted Mark Jackson to be the coach of the Brooklyn Nets. Now, this what, you know, Little Nicky said. So Little Nicky goes on to say, well, you know, Mark Jackson is a fine coach, but I think Ty Lue is better. Why? Why? Why is Ty Lue better? He took a ready-made Cleveland team to the NBA Finals and won a championship. Yeah. The difference is we haven't seen him take a team that was a bottom feeder and made him to a contender. At least with Mark Jackson, we seen him do it. He took a Golden State Warriors team that was shit consistently and increased their wins every year. His third year had them as a 50-win team. And no thanks to Andrew Bogut getting hurt, they get bounced in the first round by the Clippers and they fired him. And they brought in Steve Kerr. And then Steve Kerr takes that ready-made team that Mark Jackson built and won the championship out of it. So what if, just what if, Mark Jackson becomes the head coach of the Brooklyn Nets, and the Brooklyn Nets end up winning the championship from that? Just what if? Are people going to be looking at Steve Kerr like the fraud he is? Because he's a fraud. Look what happened this year when all those people got hurt. When he don't have a ready-made team, look what happened. Look at the fucking record. You don't got people out here running around here talking about, oh, Steve Kerr is one of the greatest coaches of all time. No. You think if Steve Kerr went to the New York Knicks, because the New York Knicks wanted him at one point, he turned down that job to go to Golden State. Say Steve Kerr accepted that job with the Knicks, he would be fired within 2-3 years. He would be fired within 2 to 3 years. I'm just saying. But we're not going to look at that, right? He gets a pass, right? Bums like Draymond Green could get a pass, right? Okay. Anyway, so Nick Wright goes on to shit on Kevin Durant. Now, mind you, back in 2010, since now deleted tweet that Nick Wright put out, he put out that Kevin Durant was the best player in the world. He said this. Of course, Nick Wright goes on to delete the tweet, but back in 2010, Nick Wright said Kevin Durant was the best player in the world, hands down. So what the fuck has changed? What changed between now and then? I'm just asking the question. What the fuck changed between 2010 and now? Did Kevin Durant not sign your autograph, Nick Wright? And ever since he didn't sign your autograph or didn't sing your praises or give you a shout out on his show, that you held this resentment against him, and every chance you get, you was going to denigrate Kevin Durant. That what it is? Sound like that what it is. Are you working for Clutch Sports, Nick Wright? Or should I say Nick Wrong? You working for Clutch Sports, Toucan Sam? Answer the fucking question, Toucan Sam. Are you working for goddamn Clutch Sports? Because if you're not, and you out here sucking dick for free, that's not a good look. Anyway, so Nick Wright goes on this diatribe and basically, goes on to denigrate Kevin Durant, talk about how he's trying to parallel LeBron James. He talks about how LeBron left the Cavs to join Miami. Then he talked about KD leaving OKC to join the team that beat him. Then he talks about, LeBron buying a stake in Liverpool. Then he goes on to talk about how Kevin Durant bought an MLS team. Then Nick Wright goes on to say, well, LeBron James, he had this media company and KD got a less successful one. So if basically what he did was he threw shade at Kevin Durant because ESPN's The Boardroom got canceled. Right? The disrespect of Kevin Durant is beyond appalling. The disrespect of Kevin Durant is disgusting. Straight up. Right? But this was the thing that was the most egregious what Nick Wright said. This was the most egregious. I mean, of all the things that this motherfucker could say out of his mouth, this is the one thing that was the most egregious. He goes on to say that Mark Jackson is a slightly worse version of Ty Lue. Mark Jackson is a slightly worse version of Ty Lue. I just broke down how Mark Jackson is a better coach than Tyronn Lue, and Nick Wright had the audacity to say that bullshit out of his fucking mouth, out of his fucking cum dumpsters. Of all the buffoonery that could come out this man's mouth, he went on and said that shit. And this is why, if I ever saw that motherfucker in the street, I'm drop kicking him on sight. Bitch, don't tell me what to do on my fucking channel. I can do what the fuck I want. This is my goddamn channel. Shit, if I want to cuss, I can say fuck, shit, bitch, cunt, slut, all that, all the fucking time I want. This is my goddamn channel. I pay the bills on this motherfucker. You haven't donated shit. So get the fuck out of here, Myron Jones. I can say whatever I want, however I want. This is my goddamn channel. You ain't bought shit. And until you buy anything when it comes to my internet, my microphone, my computer, then at some point you can tell me what I can say on my channel, how I say it. Tell that, kiss my black ass. What up, Barack Obama? What's up, man? Salute to you. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You about to, man, Myron Jones, you about to fucking get me turned up in here. What up, Michael James 616? What up? Salute to my boy Michael James 616 in the building. You know what I'm saying? Hey, appreciate you for subscribing to the Patreon as well. Oh yeah, by the way, I do have a Patreon. You know, I upload content on that motherfucker every day. You know what I'm saying? I talk about, you know, all kinds of stuff that I don't talk about here on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Support your boy. Support your boy. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to eat too. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to upgrade from bologna sandwiches to filet mignon. For real. Straight up, man. But yeah, man, Nick Wright, disgusting, man. He's disgusting. And the way he goes out his way to catfill LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who's the biggest stand. It'll be whether it be him, whether it be Kendrick Perkins, whether it be Stephen A. Smith on the low. I mean, who the fuck goes out there? Oh yeah, how can I forget about Shannon Sharp? Shannon Sharp, he goes out the way to catfill LeBron James too. They are there spewing out lies and misinformation and all that. You can enjoy your coffee. Yeah, you can. You know what I'm saying? You can enjoy your coffee. You can enjoy all the coffee. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy that sweet, full of milk coffee that you're drinking right now while I'm out here cussing like a motherfucker, boy. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I do. Fuck Nick Wright. You know what I'm saying? Fuck Shannon Sharp. Fuck Stephen A. Smith. Fuck that hamburger, that cheeseburger robbing Brian Windhorst. Like, Brian Windhorst, man, look, I'll never forgive that motherfucker what he said about Carmelo Anthony. Talk about, oh, man, you know, you can't saw Carmelo Anthony. You know, he's a Kendrick Perkins type player. Yeah, and you's a 3 hot dog a minute eating motherfucker. I'm gonna put the link in chat room on Barack Obama so that way you can have you can get it. But it's LBSNPE. That and the SNP stands for Sports News, Politics, Entertainment. I'm gonna put I'll put a link in the chat so that way you can see it. But yeah, man, every time Nick Wright comes on TV and tell lies, man, it's up to us to come in here and tell the truth, man. You know what I'm saying? Because there's too much misinformation, there's too much bullshit out there, and too many people are being misled. And then you get guys like Myron Jones that come in, regurgitate those same Nick Wright talking points, and then he comes on my channel, then he comes on Ticket Channel later on tonight. Go James, man. Why LeBron can't have no fans, man? Bubble goat? What the fuck is a bubble goat? What the fuck are you talking about? I swear to God, man. See, it's guys like him, guys like Myron Jones, man. I tell you, I mean, it's bad enough that you had, you got LeBron James fat heads. It's bad enough that you eat LeBron James's Wheaties. It's bad enough that you wearing his shoes. It's bad enough you wearing his t-shirts, his underwear, his socks, his undergarments. Hell, I bet when you go play pickup ball down the street from your house, you probably got on LeBron James's armbands and wristwatches and headbands and all that type of shit, right? I bet you dress like LeBron James when you go out there. Your game don't match him, unfortunately. But I bet in your wet dreams you talk about LeBron James, right? Man, I wish I could play LeBron James. He be in the best league. Go James. I wish I could play like Go James. Beep, 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 beep. Hit the snooze button. Oh, man, I love LeBron, man. LeBron James, my hero. I love LeBron James so much, man. LeBron James, he makes my dick hard every night. Gay shit. You know what I'm saying? Bitch, I ain't got no LeBron hairline. You got LeBron hairline. I don't like LeBron. I don't gotta buy hair, motherfucker. You got LeBron James's hairline. You got his beard line too. I tell you, man, I'm there, boy. I mean, hey, you must be an agent for Clutch Sports. And you, Myra Jones, you Clutch Sports for you an agent for Clutch Sports, Myra Jones? Are you their beat writer or their dick writer? Say that's the more appropriate term. You Clutch Sports dick writer now? You be getting checks on the side? Let me find out you be getting checks on the side. Let me find out. No, I would not believe you. Right? You told me LeBron not your favorite player. Would you believe me? Fuck no. Fuck no. You lying bastard. And shout out to Barack Alamar. I just got your Patreon message or whatever like that, man. Really do appreciate your support, homie. You know what I'm saying? I hope you enjoy the content on the Patreon, you know what I'm saying? Because it gets raw and gutter in that motherfucker. You think it gets raw and gutter here. Oh, no, it gets 10 times. It gets 10 times worse there, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't hold back. You know, who your favorite player is, Myron? If LeBron James not your favorite player, who is? Do 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 do. You said take it. Well, you a fucking idiot. I swear to God, you an idiot, Myron Jones. I'm gonna tell his ass too. I'm gonna tell Tickets in to use favorite player. They shit. Oh, you subscribe to the Patreon too. Hey man, I appreciate you. Wouldn't you like to know? Appreciate you for subscribing to the Patreon, homie. Really do appreciate it, man. You know what I'm saying? I hope you enjoy the content I put out on there. Yeah, Kobe Bryant, rest in peace to the late great Black Mama. He's my favorite player too. You know what I'm saying? You know. Yeah, I know. I wasn't gonna put your government name out there, bro. I wasn't about to put your government name out here in the airwaves. But I appreciate you though. You say Kobe's your favorite hater. Or you say Ticket your favorite hater? Man, look, Ticket has told y'all like 55 billion fucking times that he think LeBron James is a top 5 player. So how he a hater? No, ain't nobody knocking on my fucking door, nigga. They might be knocking on your door. They probably knocking on your door. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody knocking on my fucking door. If anybody knocking on my door, there's two things that's knocking on my door: pussy and pizza. How about that? Now. Now, motherfucker, don't worry about what the fuck going on in my goddamn house. Bastard. Shit. But yeah, man, Nick Wright, you have zero journalistic integrity. Zero. Some people think you got less than zero. And Antoine Walker, you're just as irresponsible for a guy that played in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? You know, yeah, you underachieved or whatever like that. But let's be honest. Let's be honest. Your career left lots to be desired, and yet you come on TV, you wear that one-piece button suit that look like it's going to explode and hit somebody in the fucking eye. You look like you're honey butter biscuit away from dying. And I'm talking about the church's honey butter biscuit at that. And you come on there and say the things you say, propping up LeBron James, shitting on Kevin Durant. You don't check this motherfucker for the shit he said. You don't check Nick Wright for the things he say on TV. You played in the NBA. You know what it's like. And yet, you're going to sit up there and let that useless hack shout out to Buki Allen in the chat. I like your name too, Buki Allen, man. Shout out to you, homie. But really, you're gonna let that disgusting, useless hack that's fucking, you're gonna sit up there and let that fucking stat nerd, because it seems like when a player does good and support LeBron James, he can remember these numbers. He can remember those numbers, right? This dude can rattle off numbers like, like how, somebody at a fucking auction just rattle off numbers as well. He's right up there with him. LeBron James averaged 36.99. And yet you're going to sit up there and let that fucking stat nerd shit on all these players when you know what it's like, Antoine Walker, and that's what's irresponsible. Shout out to Big Lynn 305 in the building. For real, man, that's irresponsible. We got to tell the truth in this motherfucker, man. Let's be honest, man. Nick Wright is a disgusting hack. And I don't like that motherfucker, man. I really don't. I have zero respect for Nick Wright. Zero. Because he is the part of the problem. He is why the journalistic integrity has taken a hit. Because he don't report the facts. Whenever he go on these diatribes, you notice how he goes on. Whenever he goes on these diatribes, he uses revisionist history. He don't tell the whole story. He leaves holes for a guy like me or Ticket or Too Raw or somebody to fill. Because that's exactly what it is. It's revisionist history. Straight out the Donald Trump playbook. Now I'm not gonna, I don't want to get too far into that shit, but you get the idea. These guys constantly go on these revisionist history to try to paint the picture a different light than what it really was. You guys watch the games. They got free games on YouTube. Talking about these specific NBA finals. He don't talk about the 2007 finals when they got swept. He don't talk about the other years where the Cleveland Cavaliers were supposed to make the finals but end up getting bounced. And those were 60-win teams. So the same help that LeBron used to get to the playoffs and the NBA finals, that same help don't come now, and all of a sudden now they're bums. But yet that same help would propelled him to the NBA finals those years. But all of a sudden now they're bums now because they came up short in the biggest stage. Meanwhile, LeBron James is not showing up in the big stage. Last year they didn't even make the playoffs. But you leave it to a guy like Nick Wright, he'll omit that from his diatribe, all to prop up his king. Myron Jones is king. Spiffy's king. CJ's king. And anybody else that, want to have LeBron James fat heads on the wall because that's the first thing they see when they wake up in the morning and the last thing they see before they go to bed. And Myron Jones. You talk to him when you wake up in the morning. LeBron, I promise I'm gonna be good today. I'm gonna go to Subway and I'm gonna put those meatballs on those sandwiches, and I'm gonna make that chicken bacon ranch sub to the best way I possibly can because LeBron James, you're my hero. And then when you come home and you smell like Subway, and then you even have enough class to take a shower before you go to bed. At night, before you go to bed, LeBron, I went out my way for you. I died for you. I made those sandwiches really nice for you, LeBron. And I got Employee of the Month. Thanks to you, LeBron. Now, good night, my king. And then you go to bed, smelling like goddamn Subway. Telling you, man, Draymond Green king too. Yeah, we gotta forget what he said. Talk about LeBron James, arguably the best player ever. Really? A dude you beat multiple times in the NBA Finals, but yeah, he the best player ever? Really, Draymond Green? Really? Okay. Those years, Kobe was waiting on LeBron to make the finals, right? They even had Nike commercials with, you had the LeBron puppet and you had the Kobe Bryant puppet. They had those Nike had those commercials in wait, anticipating that finals matchup. But Nike was actually projecting that a LeBron James, Kobe Bryant NBA Finals was going to happen, and it never happened. It never happened. Because the people that, want to worship him like he's the second coming of Jesus Christ, right? Those people that worship him see their king fall by the wayside. Now, is LeBron James the first ballot Hall of Famer? Absolutely. He is absolutely, when his career is done, is he a first ballot Hall of Famer? Absolutely. There's no doubt about that. Anybody say otherwise, you're capping. You're capping if you don't think LeBron James is a first ballot Hall of Famer. You're capping. Right? But this is the thing. This is another thing, right? And this one had to be said. So LeBron James, right? Well, let me back up. How I want to frame this. You don't hear Kobe fans going after shitting on another player to prop up, Kobe Bryant. You don't hear Jordan fans shitting on other athletes to prop up Michael Jordan. Right? So why LeBron fans? No, I'm not even talking about LeBron fans. I'm talking about LeBron dick riders. So why you got LeBron dick riders over here feel the need? They need to shit on, this player, need to shit on that player to uplift their king. Why? We see this all the time. We see this all the fucking time when it comes to this dude. Right? Makes no sense. It makes no sense to me. I don't understand it. That people will go out their way to just denigrate someone's career or their accomplishment, all to prop up LeBron. If the Lakers win the championship, the LeBron fans ain't gonna want to hear those excuses. But say the Lakers don't win the championship, and they're gonna use this time off as an excuse. Watch what I tell you. Watch what the play is. Watch what Nick Wright do. Right now, if Mark Jackson, for some reason, ended up being the Lakers coach, right? Say LeBron goes up to Jeannie Buss or whoever and be like, look, man, I don't think Frank Vogel's it, man. You know what I'm saying? You get Mark Jackson up in here, and that happened, Nick Wright would go out his way to applaud that decision. Oh, man, LeBron James, he really knows how he's doing. He really is a basketball savant. Mark, he would go out his way to prop up Mark Jackson. He would go out of his way. Any kind of negative thing about Mark Jackson that you might have heard would have been omitted, would have been overlooked, would have been swept under the rug. Right? Now, going back to the whole dynamic about, shitting on these guys in the 90s, whatever like that. People out here saying the 80s basketball and 90s basketball was a weak era. Are y'all fucking smoking crack? Look, when it comes to that dynamic, when you played basketball in the 80s and 90s, you had to have talent to get on the team. This wasn't this watered down shit we got right now. You had to have talent and ability to play. Man, we can go down the line of all the guys that, all the stars in the 90s or whatever like that. Right? But yet, the 90s was a weak era of basketball, right? Okay. Now, people that say that don't know their history. So if you don't know the history, how the fuck can you come out there and say the stuff y'all saying on a given night? Motherfuckers don't know their history in the basketball, but yet they quick to come on here and tell you how this player is better than this player in the 70s. Or they don't even know who this player was in the 80s. I brought up the name Elvin Hayes. How many people know about Elvin Hayes? If I brought up Wes Unseld, how many people know about Wes Unseld? If I brought up Artis Gilmore, how many people would know about Artis Gilmore? Right? Let's go to the lesser name. If I brought up Otis Thorpe, how many people would know about Otis Thorpe? Right? We all know about Pistol Pete. We all know about Rick Barry. But how many people know about Paula Reason? How many people know about Tom Chambers? Right? So if you guys don't know your history of basketball, how the fuck can y'all come in and say the bullshit y'all say on a given night? How many people know about Brad Daugherty? Brad Daugherty plays college ball in North Carolina. Had a really good career with the Cleveland Cavaliers. He abruptly retired to do racing. He was even an analyst for NASCAR for ESPN at one point. How many people know about Mark Price? right? One of the best free throw shooters ever. A very efficient point guard. Played his college ball at Georgia Tech. But you leave it up to these ass clowns. These ass clowns will come in here and tell you that, oh man, these guys were bums. How? How do you know about Larry Nance? I'm not talking about Larry Nance Jr. I'm talking about the original Larry Nance that played his NBA in Phoenix before he went to the Cleveland Cavaliers. How many people know about Larry Nance? Shout out to Sherm City in the chat room. The 82 no, hell yeah, they were stacked. Shit, Jordan, James Worthy, man, they were teammate. Man, I'm telling you, man, that shit. Hell yeah, that team was stacked. Brad Daugherty was a fucking beast when he played, man. I'm telling y'all. How many new people know about Ron Harper? Derek Harper. Right? How many people know about those individuals? But yet, you got guys that come in this motherfucker, go on Ticket Channel every night, and they say the bullshit they say. But yet, the 80s, 90s was a weak area. Man, slit up. Man, you know what? I'm not even going to say that. That's promoting hate speech. No, I'm going to back up. You know what I'm saying? Dumb ass motherfuckers, man. But I'm telling you this, you ain't gonna come on my channel talking dumb shit. I'm telling you right now, this ain't the channel for you. If you like talking dumb shit, if you like, being ignorant, this ain't the fucking channel for you. I'm telling you, this is not the channel for you. We tell the truth in this motherfucker. We're not gonna sit here and spew out bullshit. How many people know about Sleepy Floyd? Or Earl of Pearl Monroe? Or Nate Thurman? Mitch Richmond? How many of y'all know about those individuals? But yet y'all sit up here and talk about the this NBA, this watered down version NBA, where they changed the rules to allow scoring, whatever like that. That's why you see, these 151 to 149 games like you did back in October. Man, shut the fuck up, Lamont. See, you don't even know. You don't even fucking know. And you come in with that dumb shit, man. This ain't the man. Look, cut the shit. Anyway. See, you don't know your history, Lamont. You don't know your fucking history, and yet you come on my channel talking that bullshit. What's underrated? What's going on with you, man? Salute to my boy, the underrated darkness of the building. And I'm gonna get with you later on today about when I'm gonna do that book review. I ain't finished watching the book yet. So leave it up to Lamont Lane. He takes Nick Wright's talking points, then he comes in here and spews out that air pollution out of his mouth. But yeah, man, your boy here gotta bounce. So because I got stuff that I gotta take care of today, you know what I'm saying? So this your boy. Scream at me. Hey!